A half-century later, American troops transform the symbol into deed. They help liberate France. But with the American troops comes an invasion of a different kind. This time it's not an army, but a dark and fizzy drink. And it's threatening two of the things the French value most, wine and pride.
The Coca-Cola affair enters just after the Second World War and becomes a cause célèbre. The whole affair of what was called Coca-Colonization, that is, the necessity that some French felt of resisting the entry of Coca-Cola into the French market. Now remember that at this point the French have already absorbed jazz, they've absorbed Hollywood movies, they've absorbed Reader's Digest. All these things were coming at the same time. So Coca-Cola represents the rising menace of American mass culture. At that point, they hold up the notion that wine, the national beverage, is absolutely crucial to French identity. That is, France can be defined less by language, less by history, less by religion, but it can be defined by its national beverage. And where Coca-Cola is coming in is actually calling into question France's cultural identity.
Sharing a bed with a shapely American bottle is just too much. The now raucous debate goes all the way to the French Chamber of Deputies. The culture minister accuses Coke of being addictive. He introduces a bill to ban it.
Meanwhile, the Coca-Cola company comes in force to fight this. The Minister of Finance, the Prime Minister, the American ambassador in Paris were all involved in quieting this issue. And ultimately, Coca-Cola wins the battle. The French back away from this after 1950. The ban is never implemented, and Coca-Cola comes to France irrespective of the Great Affair.
"30 years later, France once again feels imperiled by Coke. It's hard to know if that's a commentary on Coca-Cola or the fact that Coke and America are now indistinguishable.
The Coca-Cola metaphor was used in the 80s by the new right in France, who thought Coca-Cola was more dangerous than the Red Army because it colonized people's minds. It was a rejection of the US as a consumer society, an imperialistic consumer society.